the popular cable television program, and is featured there. Was on Minnesota Monthly Magazine. Is one of the top chefs in the region. Is Ann, the curator of Lola Pizzeria, and John now is an employee there. And so, if you're looking for the top quality pizza anywhere in the Midwest, and right here in the Twin Cities, Pizzeria Lola, Lola. Pizzeria Lola is where you should head over, and maybe our own sidekick would take good care of you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. You're hosting.
I am.
It's kind of like this. You're like the pizza sidekick.
That's right. Yeah. I like to call myself the experience concierge.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very nice. I had a tough running day yesterday. Some people have known I picked up running. I was supposed to run a 20-miler, and about mile 10 kind of hit a wall. I think I started coming down with a little something. Last week when I was in Guatemala, I felt a little sickly, and I still feel a little sickly even today. I feel as if I've come down with maybe a little something. I felt dizzy and weak and worn out. And
I find it interesting that you
only made 13 of my 20 miles, which is a very disheartening thing.
That you're blaming your abject running failure on disease and not your own weakness.
I am blaming myself for being so weak and have been affected by disease. I feel that that's for the weaker people in our world. In fact, I had a friend who was worried, and she said, I hope that you can smile after your running day and just know that it's okay that maybe you didn't do so well. And I said, thanks, but actually I'm sitting on the couch feeling sick and telling myself what a loser I am. So if you've ever not completed a physical task that you had set out to, as a goal or accomplishment, then you know the misery that beset me yesterday about 3:00. And I haven't gotten over it yet. I still feel a little off. So anyway, I've had a great running experience the last number of months, and this was my first running experience where I had a goal that I didn't complete. So feel a little off because of that. Speaking of feeling a little off, we got some news for you here on the Doug Pagitt Radio on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota, and over at DougPagittRadio.com.
Yeah, so if you're driving, you might want to grip the wheel a little tighter.
And focus. Focus on what we're about to tell you. Today's episode is the final Doug Pagitt Radio show on AM 950.
That's right.
Minnesota. This is it.
Hasta la vista.
This is our final show. We have been running for 2.5 years here on the juggernaut that is AM 950, and this is our final episode. So to all who have spent your time with us on Sunday mornings when we used to be on from 10 to 11, those who have stuck with us when we moved from 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, and then those who've carried over into the afternoon, the little afternoon delight from noon until 2, our 2.5 years comes to an end today.
That's right.
Now, for those of you who are listening via the internet and on podcast or pre-record or on the recorded versions of the programming, I know that we are going to keep a Doug Pagitt Radio presence. We are still going to have a Doug Pagitt Radio show, but it's not going to be broadcast on the AM 950 format. It's going to be broadcast on an internet-based. And there is talk, which we can't fully reveal quite yet, of a television version of the conversation that goes on here. So, a change in environment to us.
Yes.
Now, some people call it bigger and brighter things. We don't refer to it that way.
No.
Some professionals in the industry say it's breakout time. All the rest of that, we're not using that kind of grandiose language for ourselves. We're simply saying we've had a terrific time here inside the AM 950 family. And if you have come to this radio station via this radio program, please keep visiting the advertisers.
Yes.
That make things possible around here. And if you have stumbled onto Doug Pagitt Radio via the radio station, thank you so much. Thanks for sticking with us and for listening. We've had many names for our listeners because we're preceded in our new formatting here by the pet appreciators.
Yeah. Over
there at the pet playground. And they get to call people pet appreciators. So we've tried many names. Kids, lovers, friends, suckers. And today, I guess after today, we refer to you as former listeners.
Former listeners.
Yeah, it's got a little sadness in it, doesn't it?
It sure does.
And so I know for those of you who have made this a part of your routine, that you're going to maybe miss some of your friends around here. So we're going to go out with a bang. We're going to have the natural health coach on today. We're going to have the advice columnist, Carla Barnhill, and we're going to do a little reflecting on what we've done with this show.
Yeah.
We're going to lift the veil. We're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to tell people what we've been up to this whole time. We are going to, in the words of the French philosopher Jacques Derrida, we are going to deconstruction. our program. We're gonna tell you why we've been doing the things that we've been doing. We're gonna let you in on the intention, on the rationale, on the reason for what we're doing on our program today.
And then it all makes sense.
And then it will all make sense, and then it will go away. This is like if you've watched serial television. This is like the final episode. Now it's not going to be like the final episode of that TV show Lost, which was just
fantastic,
abysmal. And even though we've been confined by the rules of broadcast excellence and by the rules of the FCC, we are not going to go blue on this radio show today. No. There are 7 words you can't say on radio, and we're not going to.
And
say
they are.
We are not going to say any of them. We're not going to go out in a blue blaze of glory where poor Brian has to put his finger on the button. But if you're into that kind of thing, be sure to listen to us when we're on the internet, because it's just
we're going to rip it up.
Katie bar the door. It's the HBO version of religious radio. Hey, it's also tax day today, so a little good news for you. You don't have to pay your taxes today. You don't have to turn in your tax form today, because even though it's the 15th, it's Sunday.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do it tomorrow either.
No.
Because even though it's Monday, the 16th, it's Emancipation Day in the District of Columbia. So you don't have to send in your tax forms and your payments until Tuesday.
There you go.
So the 15th of April is a firm date, unless it falls on a Sunday. And then it's the 16th, unless it falls on Emancipation Day. And then it's the 17th. Just a little reminder that we live in a world of social construct, and things that are so urgent very quickly become not urgent when you have a special day, like a Sunday or Emancipation Day. So this is our Sunday, and in the same way, it's our Emancipation Day.
It is.
Yeah. I mean, not in a good way. We're not being set free from some sort of slavery to the station. But it is a new beginning, a new turn come the month of June for Doug Pagitt Radio at DougPagittRadio.com. So stick around with us. We're going to have Carla Barnhill and some reflecting on the show. We appreciate you listening, kids, suckers, friends, and former listeners.
Whether you're starting a new renovation project or disposing